Welcome to Denver Parks and Recreation at Home. My name is Brandy and today we are making some felt crowns. So the first crown I have for you is this one. It is just eucalyptus and leaves. So I'm going to show you guys how to make this right now. So the supplies you're going to need are some wire. This is like wrapped wire. Then you're going to need felt, of course. So multiple different color green felts is what you're gonna want. You're gonna need some floral wire, then a pair of scissors, wire cutters, and you can just use scissors, but I also have a pokey hole thing. It is the official name, the hole poker guy. So we'll go ahead and start. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to make your leaves. So you're going to take your felt, and I would suggest multiple colors of green if you have them, because that way, just in nature, there's lots of different color greens. You don't need just one color. You don't just see one color green. So I've got a couple of different ones here. Two of them I've already prepared. And you're just going to make leaf shapes. So I have right here, it's about 2 inches by 1.5 inches, and these are just scrap pieces. That's the nice thing about making this type of stuff, is that you don't have to like buy brand new stuff. You can use scraps. And then you're just gonna cut it into leaves. Just go around. I'm gonna have one side pointy, and the other side doesn't have to be exactly pointy, and I'll explain why in a minute, but it can be kind of like flat like that. So have our scrap pile over here. I like to try to keep things a little bit organized and a little bit clean, just because it helps me think. So I definitely suggest that when you're crafting, is try to have like a clean-ish space, just so you can like have your creative juices clear. So, all right, so you've got like two different color leaves. I forgot to say you also need a glue gun. So this guy is heating up right now, you can see. So you need a glue gun, it's a very important piece. And then what we're gonna do is you're gonna take some wire and you're gonna cut about like 4 inches. I already pre-cut some of these, but you're gonna like take this, you're gonna cut about 4 inches. The wire cutters are really awesome because it doesn't make it hard to cut. I would not use scissors on wire. It's bad for the scissors and it won't really cut very well. So definitely use some wire cutters. And you cut those. So you'll cut as many pieces as you want. The leaves you're gonna cut, so you're gonna put one on each end. So what you do here, the reason that it doesn't need to be completely pointy on both ends is what you're gonna do is you're gonna put a drop of glue right here. And then you're gonna take your wire, you're gonna put it right there, and then you're gonna pinch. So you're not even gonna see that like bottom part. That's why it doesn't need to be pointy, is because you're gonna bend it anyways, and it just gives it some texture. You could just lay it flat, but then when it comes to the wrapping stage, which will be a little later, you're not gonna want to see the back of the wire. So do that, and you hold it for like at least 5 seconds, I would say. And then you're gonna do the opposite. And I like to mix the colors so that make sure you have like kind of like variety next to each other. So like, it doesn't exactly have to be every other, but it's good to have some variety. So there you go, hold that. And really the longest step is really just cutting. It really is the longest. It's gonna take the most time. So I would say while you're doing this, like find your favorite movie, your like go-to movie you've already seen like a zillion times, that you like know all the words so you don't mind missing parts, but you still love it. And then you can just go to town. So I did that the other day with George of the Jungle, the Brendan Fraser movie. It's still good, guys. I still like it. All right. Keep going. So I'm just showing you how to make a couple of them. Again, you're putting that drop of glue and then you're just pinching and holding. The one bummer about hot glue guns, well, one, you need to be safe with them because they are very hot. You can definitely burn yourself with both the glue and the tip. So you want to be careful with that. But also just they have these like little stringy pieces. So like the one I just showed you, or that we just made, there's like these strings you can see. I don't know if maybe with my hand there or maybe on my shirt it's better. And you'll just have to pull those off. They're easy to get off. They are kind of annoying. I would suggest either doing it as you go or doing it all at the very end. But just knowing that that's something that happens and that you're not doing anything wrong. It's just what it's like working with hot glue. So you're gonna make all of these. I would make like 15 to 20 of them. And that's what I did. I made just a bunch of them because you're gonna wrap them through. I believe I made 20. And then we're gonna go through and we're gonna make some eucalyptus. So I'm gonna teach you how to make the eucalyptus. And I got a couple of different colors here going. But again, what you do is you're gonna take some felt. And this is about 3/4 inch by 1.5 inches. And the nice thing with eucalyptus is that the bottom one is usually a little bit small or bigger, and then they go up. So as you can see probably with this one, and I've got 2 different colors on that one, but they get bigger as they go up. So what we're gonna do is you're actually gonna fold it in half, like that, the long way. So I guess like if you were like hot dog, I think, and then that way. So you're gonna fold it like that. And then you're gonna do circles. So where the bend is where you're gonna do the cut. You're gonna start the cut and you're gonna go circles out that way. But you don't wanna cut the bend because that part's gonna be connected. Okay, so that is what it will look like. So we'll do 2 more of those because each one is gonna have 3, each of the eucalyptus pieces. So again, you're gonna fold it in half and then just cut a little circle, like rounded pieces, making sure that you keep that bent part uncut because that allows it to spread out, like that. And then I think this is probably my biggest piece, so I'm gonna try to keep as much of it as I can so that these pieces, as you can see, these can be the top 2. So I'm gonna try to make that bottom one a little bit bigger. And this is all eyeball stuff. It definitely doesn't have to be perfect. If you have like a fancy Cricut machine, they actually have SVG files that will cut eucalyptus for you. But this, if you just use scraps, then you get to like help save the planet and not waste, which is a pro. So this would be our last one. So then we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna clean up my little area because it makes me feel better about life. Our fancy poker guy. And we're going to take each of the eucalyptus and you're gonna actually just poke a hole right there in the center. And I kind of like try to go all the way down, just make sure it's really good and through. So you've got that. And we'll do that on each of them. Last one. Okay. So put my little cap back on that guy. And then we're gonna grab our wire. Then you're gonna grab your hot glue gun again. And I feel like the best way to do it is actually start with the smallest one. So you're gonna go to the top piece. You're gonna put it on and put it like exactly kind of where you want it in regards to the top. And then you're gonna put some hot glue right at the tip right there where the wire is. And then you're gonna bend each piece and then put it towards each other. Like that. And again, just hold for like 5 seconds. And this went down a little bit more than I wanted, but luckily I have fancy wire cutters. So I can shorten this little stem piece if I'd like. So we got the first piece, and then put the second piece, and you're just gonna go put it below. Put it, and then leave some space between. Sometimes it's easier to kind of start the bend if you just kind of like rest it on your finger. Put the glue there. Just like right where it hits the wire. And then again, you're gonna bend it. You're gonna fold them in and then push them towards each other. And if they kind of spin, that's totally fine. Some of them, like you'll see this one is not lined up perfectly with it buddy up there. You can see that this one is kind of turned this way and then this one's this way, and that's totally fine. So that could just be its wind factor if it was real. So, and then last one. Again, or if you are more wanting it to be perfect, you can also just turn the wire and then like line them up. So okay, there you go. And that is how you make your eucalyptus. Okay, next we're gonna go through actually assembling the crown. So you have all of your leaves made over here. You've got all of your eucalyptus made here. I have about 10 of them, maybe 12 eucalyptus made. And then you wanna take your big kind of like hemp wire. And you can get this at like any craft store. I got it at Hobby Lobby. I believe they also have it at Joann's Fabrics and Michael's. You might even be able to find it at Walmart. So this is 3.5 feet. It seems pretty long. It seems longer than you would want for a flower crown, but it is actually what you want because you're going to double wrap it. So it is kind of in a circle. So you're going to have like it, let's be like straight, and you're gonna kind of put them together like a circle and then bring them around until they kind of touch. That's about how big you want your circle to be. And then what you do is you're gonna hold where the opposite end is, so where opposite of where the two pieces are, like flinging about, and then you're gonna just wrap. So you're gonna wrap them in around each other. And this is just gonna make it so that it's sturdier. Plus it kind of gives it like a cute little braid. There is multiple colors of this hemp stuff. There is like a more hay colored one. This one is more green. I preferred getting the green one specifically so that you won't be able to see the green wire as much. But if that's not something that you care about or are worried about, then you definitely don't have to do that. So, all right, so then we have these two pieces here and they're almost meeting. I do want them to crisscross, so I'm gonna redo it and we're gonna take a pause, but we'll come back and because I'll show you a step later in a second. Okay, so I redid it because it wasn't meeting, and you can see now that it is meeting. Actually, it overlapped a little bit and I just took my fancy little wire cutters and cut it off. So once you get it to like a meeting spot, what you want to do is you want to take like a piece of felt, and again, this is just a piece of scrap felt. I'm going to put some glue in the middle and put it right there. Hold it there for a second. I use like an excessive amount of hot glue. Some people do not use as much hot glue as me. They'll just do little dabs. That is probably enough, but I just like to be thorough. So I use more than's probably necessary. So if you're watching this and thinking, she's wasting hot glue, you might be right, but it makes me feel better because it's not going to come off. So, and you're just gonna wrap it. And the reason you're gonna do that is because those pieces are pretty pokey. It actually has like the wire sticking out, and you wanna make sure that when you or whoever you're making this for is wearing it, they're not getting like the wire pokes. So you're covering that. And now we're gonna move on to the wrapping. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna just take your leaves and take all of your eucalyptus. Sorry. And then you're going to put it on. You're going to kind of crisscross it. And you're going to just wrap them around each other in a circle. So maybe do one side, one another side. And then twist them around one another. And that actually just locks them in place. So you're going to do that. And then I'm going to grab another one. And I'm going to go again. Give myself some space. I have a lot more leaves than I have eucalyptus. You can make as many eucalyptus or as many leaves as you want. If you want it to be all eucalyptus, you can definitely do that. If you want it to be all leaves, you can do that. Different types of leaves. You're gonna keep going. You're gonna spin. And now I think I'm gonna throw in a eucalyptus here. And I'm gonna do, so I don't have a second end here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap the end around, and then when it comes up, I'm going to twist them like I did with the leaves. I'm going to just twist them as much as I can, and then lay that flat. So I'm just going to do that with all of these leaves and all of these eucalyptus. All right. So this is the last one. And just wrap it around. And of course, these are pretty easy to, like, as you can see, like they're pretty easy to undo because you're just wrapping them. You're not actually hot gluing them at all. So if you like the placement of something somewhere else or want to move it around, it's super easy to do. But this is the final product of your leaf crown. Okay, so now we're gonna make our other flower crown. But before we start that, I have a very good cheesy joke for you. It is, what do you call flowers that are BFFs? So what do you call flowers that are BFFs? Buds. It's like, it's a good dad joke. Okay, so now we're gonna start making this flower crown. I'm actually giving this to my nieces to wear at our wedding. They're gonna wear that. The flower girls are gonna wear it. So it's super fun and colorful. You can do whatever colors you want. But it's just pretty and it lasts forever, and you don't have to preserve it in the refrigerator because apparently that's a thing. But the supplies that you need for this are, again, your glue gun, scissors, actually use some tweezers, your fancy hole punch guy, your floral wire and wire cutters, and actually we're going to use some pliers. And then in regards to flowers, you want to pick 8 different colors for your flowers. So you can see here some of the colors are repeated, like the yellow is the same as the yellow here. But you do want 8 different color flowers and then however many color leaves you want. So I believe I have 3 different color greens in the leaves over here. So first I'm going to start showing you how to make this yellow guy. This yellow guy to me looks, I don't actually know the names of any of these flowers, so I apologize for that. But to me it kind of looks like lavender, but just yellow. So what you're going to do is you are going to take your color. So you could even do this with purple if you wanted to make lavender. What you're going to do is you're going to take it. This is 1 inch by 4 inches. So you're going to cut a piece 1 inch by 4 inch. And then what you're going to do is you're going to glue halfway right here. You're going to glue across. And you're actually going to fold that in half this way. Oops, got it on my finger a little. And And the reason you're not going all the way across is just so that you can make sure that it's more precise. Otherwise, it kind of like is a little difficult to fold. As you can see, I got some on my finger, so it's not the easiest. And then you're gonna glue the rest of it on this side right here. And you're gonna hold that. And if you see some of the glue is spilling out, that's okay. You don't need to worry about that. Okay. So the next step for this guy, for this yellow lavender is what I'm gonna call it, is you're actually, once you've folded and glued it, you're gonna take your scissors and you're actually just gonna snip right here. And you're gonna snip all the way down from one end to the other, but you don't wanna snip where the glue is. But this is where like these little guys come in. So you're gonna do that all the way down. You can see I cut it all the way down, but it's gonna be fine because we have hot glue and we can make do. Didn't even rhyme that on purpose. Okay, so next we're gonna take our wire. Got some wire right here, or you know what, I'm gonna just cut a piece. Again, you wanna do just like the leaf pieces, about like 4 to 6 inches. And you're gonna cut that. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some glue right here. You're gonna put a little glue right there on the tip. And you're actually going to wrap it. You're gonna kind of bend it right there, and be careful because the glue is really hot. And you're gonna wrap it. And this takes a lot of patience. You're gonna have to just be patient with yourself as you go. So we'll hold it. And you wanna do this at like an angle. And that's how you get it to wrap kind of down. You can see it spirals down. So that's what we're doing, is we're slowly, it spirals down, you can see. So we're gonna make sure that we glue it that way. Get my glue gun. Just do a little bit at a time. I learned the hard way, you want to do a little bit at a time, because if you don't, it doesn't wrap well. Put some more glue on there. And we have this piece that I accidentally cut off. You can stick that on. It's already got some glue there. Okay, and that's the nice thing about crafts, is like sometimes you just learn new ways to do things on accident, or just new ways to fix things, or new ideas. So if you make mistakes like that, don't be hard on yourself, because that's what happens sometimes. So I'm gonna just pinch it and let it hold for a bit. Okay, you can see we have some glue sticking out, and you can cut that off right now. You could just take your scissors and cut it, or you could just pull it off, or you could not worry about it. It honestly doesn't really matter. I'm not left-handed, so I don't know why I was trying that with my left hand. I don't have two of them. So here you go. Here is your yellow lavender. And this is how they turn out. Okay. So next we have these little guys. These are super cute. So you are going to need to have, you can see right here, again, there's a lot of glue on the bottom, so I want to make sure that they stuck, but you're not going to see that part, so you don't need to worry about it. But what you're going to do is you are going to take some felt of any color that you choose, and you want 2 inches or 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. That's what this is. So 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. And then you're going to take your scissors and you're going to round your edges. making a circle. And honestly, all of the cutting, I believe I said this earlier on the leaf one, is really like the most of your work. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut a line almost to the center. You're gonna like, maybe like a third way down. You're gonna cut, flip it, do the same here. Use sharp fabric scissors if you can. And then you're gonna do a line here and a line here. So what we're doing is we're making a 6-petal flower right now. Flip it, go again, go again. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna round these edges to make the petal. There's actually, for one of the flowers, where you're gonna round them, and for one of the flowers you can actually make it sharp and cut this way so that each piece is almost triangular at the top. But what we're gonna do for this one is we're gonna round the edges. And I go around the whole circle and then come back and do the other side. I still have some hot glue on my thumb. It's like crafting scars, but not. All right, and then we're gonna switch it. We're gonna go the other side. So you flip it and then do the other side. Okay, so now you have a 6-petal flower starter. Then what we're gonna do is you're gonna go down around and you're actually gonna cut out a circle in the middle. So go down on one side, and it doesn't have to be a big circle, it can be tiny. If you have a Cricut machine, there are SVG files, or Cricut, or I believe there's another brand, I don't know what that's called offhand, but they have SVG files that are of these shapes, and it'll actually just do all the cutting for you, which is pretty fantastic. It saves you a ton of time. But so then you're going to cut out that circle, and then we have this petal. So the next step is, this is where your tweezers come in. So you're going to use your glue and your tweezers. So I'm going to just put a dot in the center of one of the petals, and I'm going to pinch these and fold it over and pinch it again. Right now I'm just holding it so it can dry, and then I'm going to start my line right now. And so you're doing it around the circle right there. And again, you can see like the hot glue little strings. Don't worry about those. They happen. You can pull them off. And see, I've got hot glue all over my fingers right now. So again, we can probably finish this off right now. Doing that. And then towards the end, you can just keep it spinning. You don't even have to undo them. And do this, and then just hold it. So this is that. You've got your little tiny flower. So I've got that there. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the bottom for this flower. And what you need for that is you're gonna take your floral wire, and again, this time you're gonna do a little bit more, do closer to like 6 inches. And the reason we're doing that is because we're gonna end up twisting some. So you cut that off, and then you need your pliers. And what you're gonna do is you're actually gonna tighten this and spin it. And you're gonna make it's like a little stand, kind of. And you're just spinning them. Some people are able to get like really exact with it. I am not one of those people, but I do okay. Okay, now we're gonna start assembling your flower crown. So just like previously, you're gonna get your wire, your hemp wire, you're gonna wrap it around, and then you're going to hot glue this little part where the ends were. Then you're gonna take your flowers. So I'm gonna show you how to do like 3 of them. You're gonna grab your flower, and this is just like the leaf one where you're gonna put it in and you're gonna wrap it around, and then you're gonna twist. You're gonna leave about an inch or out. You're gonna wrap around, you're gonna twist them, and then you're gonna leave that piece up. And I'm gonna show you why, but you are gonna end up using that. So right now you have 1 flower. Actually, I might twist it one more time. I want it as close to the crown as I can. And then you're gonna have this guy up. Okay, so then you're gonna take your next one, and might just put this on this side. You're gonna do the same thing, and you're gonna leave a piece up. So you're gonna leave that piece right there. And then you're gonna take one more, and you're gonna put it next to it, and you're gonna go around. You're gonna wrap it around again. Again, this just like locks it in place. And I kind of like push the flower back. Make sure all my petals are correct. And then you're gonna still keep that end up. So you wanna keep all of the ends. You're not gonna cut them off. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually put some leaves on. You're gonna find this piece of wire and you're gonna hold it. We'll go to our next one. Do it again. Got all those glue hairs. And then you're gonna put a little more glue on your last one here. And then you can kind of move these leaves around however you want. And you're gonna do this with all of your flowers. So every single flower that we made, you're gonna go around, and I would just go in the same order all the way around. And just go all the way, and you're gonna glue on flowers to all of them. And when you're finished, you will have this. Okay, so these are our felt floral crowns. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.